Hello everyone and welcome back to part 9 of my Let's Play on the original Formula 1 game for PlayStation. Yes indeed. And it's time to move on to
Round 9 of the World Championship, now here at Hockenheim, Germany.
Oh, Murray Walker always sends a shiver down my spine every time I hear his dulcet tones. Murray Walker, everyone, quite possibly the greatest Formula 1 commentator of all time. Anyway, we got some real excitement for you now because welcome everyone, yes, to the old layout of the Hockenheim ring, yes, with the really long straights. I absolutely love this circuit, absolutely love it. Before they cocked it up, I think in 2002, and made it into another boring old squiggle. But there you go, this is not the boring old squiggle, as David Twat Coulthard, our driver of choice, has actually hit the barrier, but it doesn't matter because we're coming in for our pit stop now, which of course is the thing that we do before the start of qualifying, because this sets us up for the race, as I've said in previous episodes. So out comes the fuel. Yes, there's a mechanic at the back of the gorgeous Williams Renault right now going sucking out all that gorgeous gasoline. Go on son, suck it out, that's it. So the fuel has now gone out, and now we're going to adjust the downforce because we need minimum downforce, of course, because we've got some very long straights at the Hockenheim ring from 1995. So out we go for, oh dear, and David Coulthard's hit the barrier again. But out we go for our first qualifying run, as you can see. And oh, just look at this track everyone, just look at this track. It's absolutely gorgeous. I loved playing this track in this game, and Formula 1 97. Not Formula 1 98, because no, that was shite. Yes, we don't talk about that one, do we, lads? No, don't talk about that one. Bloody Formula 1 98. But in these two games, it was absolutely glorious. And just look in the background, as you can see the trees majestically pop into view. This, of course, was done by design because of the limited technical specifications of the PlayStation 1. Of course, it couldn't render too much on screen at any one time, so they come up with this very nice effect where it would actually pop into view. Yes, it was more prevalent in some of the Colin McRae games. In actual fact, if you looked at the first Colin McRae, you will see that it actually looks like a hand grenade going off in reverse sometimes when they're going through the track. Yes, but of course it does give you the sort of illusion that you're driving around the track, when in actual fact you're actually driving through a tunnel. Yes, everything that is rendered is actually being rendered in front of you, and little bits off to the left and to the right, but that's practically it. Yes, there's no more technology left in the aging PS1, which of course wasn't aging in 1995, but of course by today's standards it's very creaky indeed. So that's how they managed to do it. Also, a few other technical tricks that they managed to work out was, and I think as I said in the last episode, was the fact that they could make the textures of the cars go very poor, from like 500 polygons to only 100 polygons. And in some of the later PS1 racing games, you will have noticed that they did another little trick there, where they actually made the cars go completely black. Yes, so it was like one neutral colour if the car was out in the distance, and that saved a little bit of graphics processing power, and the cars only popped back in with their livery again when they got sort of really close to you. Now, of course, anyone who's played the abysmal F1 98 will know exactly what I'm talking about, because the textures and the liveries on the cars would literally pop on and off like a light bulb. Yes, they would be in the distance and they'd go to a really low resolution texture, and then as you got closer to them, suddenly it would pop back into view again. Well, what can we say about F1 98? It was absolute crap. Yes, absolute bloody bollocks, mate. Bloody bollocks. Anyway, let's forget about that game. We're concentrating on this game, which is F1 95. Let's have a look and see what time Mr. David Twat Coulthard is going to put in. Now, as I record this video, we have just had another real life race, yes, and it was at Monaco, and oh my goodness, what an enjoyable race that was. Yes, did I say that out loud? F1 2019 at Monaco, and it was actually an enjoyable race. I mean, it caught everyone off guard. We were all sitting here waiting for a complete snooze fest, and look what happened. Unbelievable scenes, as we say, unbelievable scenes. Well, anyway, I think Charles Leclerc was the star of the show, well, in the fact of entertainment purposes anyway. Yes, he was a real star there, and that bit where he punctured his tyre and he's going around at full whack. Yes, full whack with bits of his tyre flaming about all over the place. That was just classic, absolutely classic. And racers of old, as one of the commentators said, I do believe, Jack Villeneuve. And oh my goodness, I'm just saying that, and Coulthard's got pole position. Where on earth did he manage to pull that time out of his hat? But yes, pole position then for David Coulthard. That's absolutely incredible. Wow. I'm completely speechless. Anyway, getting back to the real life race. Yes, Charles Leclerc. Oh my goodness, he really gave us a very entertaining race, which normally at Monaco it's very, very boring indeed. So my hat goes off to Charles Leclerc for the entertainment. And not the racing, but just the entertainment. It was absolutely brilliant. So yes, it was a very, very good race at Monaco, I must admit. And I didn't actually fall asleep. I actually watched I didn't watch the whole thing because unfortunately I don't get Sky, so I had to only watch the highlights on Channel 4. Boo! But, I watched the full highlights. There you go, the full highlights, and did not fall asleep. And I have to say, it was a cracking race, as Murray would say back in the day. A cracking race. And, of course, it won't be the next one. It'll be completely boring again. In fact, I predict that Monaco... Oh, that's how Mr. Coulthard managed to get pole position. He may have did a little sneaky shortcut over the chicane. Now, of course, one of the problems with Hockenheim in this game is you can do some very, very sneaky shortcuts and get a really good timing. Of course, you could do that in F1 97 as well. F1 97 was absolutely mega for shortcuts. In fact, anyone who's played the first round in Australia, oh my goodness, you could practically shortcut half the circuit and you didn't get any penalties, because there was no penalties unfortunately in any of these games, not the early ones anyway. No penalties for shortcuts or anything like that. They just sort of trusted you that you would be a good chap and take the right line and not cheat. That's what they used to do, but of course they don't know us, do they, lads? They don't know us. Any opportunity to cheat, and of course we're going to take it, aren't we? Yes. So there we are. We're in pole position now. We're going to put in our fuel for the race. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the episode. No, it's not. This is not the episode where I'm going to show you the massive game-changing glitch, which is going to completely change the rest of this season up on its head. This is still one of the early races, but we will get there soon, lads. I think it's 2 more episodes, maybe 2 more episodes, and we'll be there. Anyway, here we are for the starting grid at the Grosser Mobil 1 Preis von Deutschland Hockenheim Grand Prix for round 9 of 17. In pole position, we got David Coulthard. Second place goes to Damon Hill. Third place for Michael Schumacher in the Benetton Renault. Fourth position, Gerhard Berger. Fifth place for Ruby Barrichello. In sixth position, it's Eddie Irvine. Seventh place for Mika Hakkinen. Eighth place for Mark Blundell. Ninth position for Johnny Herbert in the Benetton Renault. In 10th position, it's John Alesi in the Ferrari. 11th place for Heinz Harald Frentzen. 12th position for Oliver's Penis. In 13th place, it's Mika Salo. In 14th place, it's Christophe Bouillon. And in 15th position, it's Max Papis. In 16th position, it's Ukio Katayama. 17th for Luco Badoa. And in 18th position, it's Aguri Suzuki. In 19th position, it's Taki Yanui. And in 20th position, it's Martini. In 21st, it's Pedro Diniz. And in 22nd, it's Roberto Moreno. In 23rd, it's Montemini. And in 24th, it's Lavargi in the Pacific Ford, bringing up the rear. Okay, so the excitement is mounting then. Coulthard is in pole position as the 5 lights are going to go out, and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes. Oh, it's a terrible start once again from David Coulthard. Damon Hill jumps him off the line, so does one of the Ferraris, and we've got a Jordan Peugeot just gone past us as well. So David Coulthard already down to 4th position now. 4th position for David Twat Coulthard as we're just about to go down this extraordinarily long straight of the gorgeous Hockenheim circuit. Oh, he's getting very, very close to the back of the Jordan. He goes past though, and now we've got the Ferrari. Look at the power. Look at the power from this Williams Renault, and he gets right behind. Oh, very, very close. Almost shortcuts the chicane. Oh, there's contact though from the Jordan, and he's back down to 3rd position. He's of course got damage to the side of his car, which doesn't show up on the screen, but yes, we are going to have some damage there. So 3rd position now for David Coulthard. Now the 2 cars have now sped off in front. Look at them. Anyway, we're going to come up to this first chicane. As you can see, brake very, very hard, then you have to go right to the right and then pull it back in again. You get a lot of understeer if you go into that chicane and don't get it just right. Anyway, we are catching up to the back of the Ferrari very, very slowly now. Of course, is David Coulthard going to play by the rules, or is he going to try and shortcut these chicanes to try and catch up to the back of this Ferrari? Well, we're just about to find out, because we're about to come up to this next chicane, and he didn't actually play that to the rules, and he gets past the Ferrari, and he gets past Damon Hill as well, up into first position. Wowzers. It's another fantastic performance once again from David Twat Coulthard as he gets into the lead of this race. I have no idea how many laps we have got at the Hockenheim ring. I think it's going to be possibly 12 laps. Possibly 12 laps, because it's a very, very long lap. They're usually about 15 or 16 or 18. Oh my goodness, and the Ferrari has got past him. The Ferrari has got past Coulthard, so he's back down to second. Anyway, usually they're about 18 laps on 25%, but I think this is going to be about 12 laps. So, lap 1 completed. Coulthard now down to second position, but he's catching up very, very fast at the back of this Ferrari, and he powers past in that gorgeous Williams Renault once again back into the lead of this race. Look at the gap he's got now to the cars behind, and there's that textures I was telling you about where they completely disappear the further they get away from you. You actually just saw them all. There was a bunch of wheels. There was no liveries on the cars at all. Anyway, so as we're on to a quiet bit as Coulthard goes back into the lead, I'm going to continue with a little bit more about this game. Yes, the game of Formula 1 for PlayStation, as Coulthard is now 2.439 seconds ahead of second place, which is Damon Hill. Okay, so Probe Software started work on a port of this game for the Sega Saturn in 1997. But unfortunately, Psygnosis Formula 1 license had expired by this time, presenting a potential obstacle to this conversion ever being released, and it was cancelled by June of 1997. This game saw the introduction of in-game commentary, which was done in the English version of the game by Murray Walker, the German version by Jochen Mass, the French version by Philippe Alliot, and the Spanish version by Carlos Riera, and the Italian version by Luigi Ciappiini. Wowzers. Now that's a name for you, isn't it? Luigi Ciappiini. Reminds me a little bit of Ferrari's current technical director. I can't even remember his name, but I just call him Mario. Yes, Mario. Hi, it's me, Mario. How are you all doing today? Yes, we did really well in our race today at Monaco. Sebastian Vettel scored some very, very exciting World Championship points. And Charles Leclerc didn't, because he's a plum. Yes. Oh, it's me, Mario. Okay, let's stop that now. Let's just stop that now and get on with a little bit more from the game that is Formula 1. And this is the exciting part that people always want to know about, the soundtrack. The in-game music was composed by Mike Clark, who worked in-house at Psygnosis at the time, and Stuart Ellis, who was a session guitarist from Liverpool and owner of Curly Music, an independent music retailer. The soundtrack also features the songs Juice by Steve Vai from Alien Love Secrets, as well as Summer Song and Back to Shalabar by Joe Satriani. Joe Satriani, get it right, Dave. From The Extremist and Flying in a Blue Dream, respectively. Well, if you're a music head, you'll know exactly what I've just been talking. Oh my goodness, and David Coulthard completely cocks up that chicane, and he's hit the wall. He's obviously going to get some damage from that, but it's okay, he's still going on. Of course, he's massively in front of all the other cars now, but oh my goodness. Now he's going to have to come into the pits for his pit stop at some point, so he's going to lose a few positions. Or he may not lose any positions, because he's going to be so out in front by the end. I think he's going to be way out in front. Anyway, so as I was just saying, anyone who knows about music will have quite possibly known exactly what I was talking about there, and anyone who doesn't know about music will be going, do what, mate? Do what, mate? So we continue on with the reception that this game received back in the good old days of 1996. Yes, don't forget, of course, the game came out in 1996, not 1995. It was based on the 95 season, but it didn't come out until 1996, which of course gave them loads of time to put in all those little extra details like driver changes and stuff like that. Yes, you don't get that now in F1 2019, do you, lads? Codemasters, are you listening? Are you listening now? Yes, it's all very well when you release a game so early, but when there's little tweaks that need to be made, driver changes, or mind you, I don't think there will be any driver changes this year. I can't see it, but anything like that, and you know, you just can't do it, can you, lads? Can't do it. Anyway, continuing on with the reception that this game received. The game was a bestseller in the UK. Well, of course it would be. Anyone who looks at those trailers that Codemasters release for their latest F1 games, just look at the views and you'll see that the views for the UK version of those trailers always gets the highest amount. Yes. And quite funnily, Canada, or French Canadian as they like to put on the title for the intro video, gets very, very few views indeed. So obviously they're not too keen on Formula 1 in Canada. Who knew? Or maybe they're just not very, very keen on Codemasters. Anyway, worldwide sales across all computer and console versions of Formula 1 surpassed 1.7 million units by August 1997. In August 1998, the game's PlayStation version received a Platinum Sales Award from the... Oh my god, I'm not going to be able to say that. I'm not going to be able to say that. It's the Verband Software Deutschland, otherwise shortened as VUD. Yes, not VD. No, that's something entirely different and something you know you need to get some pills for and a little bit of cream that would clear that right up. No, it's nothing to do with VD. It's called the VUD. Yes, something to do with Deutschland. And I'm sorry, everyone, I can't say that. And if you are Dutch, then I sincerely apologise for any offence I've just caused. Yes, I'm very, very sorry. Very, very sorry indeed. Anyway, indicating sales of at least 200,000 units across Germany, Austria and Switzerland. The PlayStation version was reasonably well received, with critics generally commentating that the realistic handling and real-world Formula 1 elements made it an ideal game for the hardcore racing fan. Some reviewers added that the game was too complicated and difficult to appeal to those looking for arcade-style racing. Well, if you want an arcade racer, then you want to go for Mario. It's me, Matt. You don't. Yes, you want Mario Kart if you want arcade racing. Formula 1 is not about that. Of course, a lot of these Formula 1 games have arcade modes, and they're all a lot of fun. I have to say, a lot of fun. But you know, we're hardcore racers at heart, aren't we? So we need proper Formula 1 racing. That's what we need. Anyway, Coulthard still in the lead. I think he's done 4 laps now of the Grand Prix, so still in the lead for David Coulthard. We will continue with our little look at the reception of Formula 1. Though most praise the selection of modes as opening up the game to both novices and experts. Yes, of course, you had the different modes of the difficulty levels where you could have easy, medium, I think, and hard, which is always good, always good. Critics were more divided, though, about the graphics. Todd Mowat wrote in Electronic Gaming Monthly, I don't think that exists anymore. No, I don't think that it does. I think that's gone to the graveyard in the sky of magazines. Well, I think all magazines have gone to the graveyard of the sky, haven't they, mostly? Due to the internet? Yes, nobody bothers buying magazines anymore, do they, lads? No, just type it into Google, that's what you need. Just Google, tell me what I need to know. Anyway, Coulthard is now 4.907 seconds ahead of Damon Hill, who's currently in second place once again at the gorgeous Hockenheim circuit. Okay, so Mr. Todd Mowat wrote in the Electronic Gaming Monthly that the fluidity of the animations was not that realistic in terms of the way a real race car would handle. Oh my goodness, Todd. Come on, Todd. This was 1995. What really were you expecting? I mean, what else did we have in competition stakes closer to the age of this game? I'm just trying to think, actually. Well, there was Nigel Mansell's Grand Prix on the Commodore Amiga, I do believe. That came out, I think, in 1993. I'm just looking across to the left. I've actually still got my copy of that. Yes, I wish I could show it to you, but I'm not going to set up the camera just to do that. But yes, I've still got Nigel Mansell's World Grand Prix for the Commodore Amiga. And yes, I've still got a Commodore Amiga, which is sitting right next to me as well. Yes. Oh God, I know that sounds really sad, but I have. So yes, let's carry on then. GamePro's Air Hendricks, is that Jimmy's brother? I'm not quite sure, but I think it may be Jimmy's brother. He's praised the detailed cars and the sense of speed, but complained of breakup problems. Now, of course, I will agree with him there. There was always problems with this, and of course the sequel as well. where you can see it. Just look on the track and you'll see that the polygons are breaking up. There's black lines all over the track. As I say that, Coulthard has just crossed the line. 6 laps gone now. 2.251 seconds ahead of Damon Hill. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, there's a lot of polygon breakup, as you can see on the track. Now, they tried to eliminate that a little bit in F1 97, where you had the option where you could sort of downgrade the graphics a bit so that these bits actually went sort of blurry and you didn't see them as much. Personally, I didn't like the effect. It looked too crap, and it also said that it did have the consequence of slowing down the gameplay a little bit. And of course, in these games, as he goes past a faulty Ford, yes, a faulty Ford, one of the greatest Formula 1 teams ever in the history of Formula 1. So straight past, so already he's lapping cars on lap 7, I do believe. And it's the faulty, just look at that car, look, yes. Oh my goodness, fantastic. They did so well in Formula 1. I'm just so surprised they're not still racing today. Anyway, so as I said, yes, there was an option in 97 to sort of make it more blurry, but I never used it. I preferred it like this, to be honest. At least you know you're in a proper PlayStation 1 Formula 1 racing game. And Next Generation held the graphics as a major leap over the first wave of PlayStation games. Of course, yes, this... Oh my goodness, David Coulthard's gone off. David Coulthard's off. He's got dirt on his tyres as well. Now he's going to come into his pit stop because, of course, he's lost a huge amount of time. He's still in the lead, 2.2 seconds ahead of Hill. Berger in third position now. Is he going to come into the pits? Yes, he does. Very, very sensibly. He uses the opportunity to come in now for his stop. So, yeah, oh, come on, David, get it round, get it round. Very, very tight. He's lost the lead, Damon Hill has gone past. So, in he comes for his stop. He's going to put some fuel in, replace the tyres, and he's got some wing damage, which he's going to sort that out as well, because we don't want to lose our wings before we get to the end of the race. So the fuel goes in. Going to put in about 3/4 of a load of fuel, I do believe. Yes, that's done. Just waiting for the rear wing to be repaired. And out David goes with a fantastically fast pit stop of 18.9 seconds. Yes, 18.9 seconds. And he rejoins the field now in 7th position. 8th position. One of the Jordan Peugeots. Oh no, both the Jordan Peugeots have now got past Mr. David Coulthard, and he's down to 9th place. It says he's only 4 seconds behind Hill, but that is factually incorrect, everyone. Factually incorrect. Yes, he's at least 30 seconds now behind Damon Hill. But look at this, he's putting on the full beans now to try and get past both these Jordan Peugeots, and he goes down the inside of one of them, so that's one of them dispatched. The next one, it's either Eddie Irvine or, of course, Rubens Barrichello. We won't find out, of course, because there's no driver names above, as I've said in previous episodes, and he dives down the inside of this Jordan Peugeot, and now I think he's going to get past. Yes, he does. So up already. Oh no, Peugeot's still there. Already up now into 7th position for David Coulthard. His next target is one of the Ferraris. It's either Gerhard Berger or John Alesi. Now, is he going to play by the rules, or is he going to shortcut this chicane? Well, we'll find out. So Hill is in the lead. Coulthard is, it says second, but he's not in second. No, see. Oh my goodness, and he shortcutted the... Oh, and he's got past the Ferrari and one of the McLarens. Already up into 5th position. Wowzers. Absolute wow. It's a bit like the FIA stewards aren't watching this, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of luck, otherwise, oh, he'd be clapped in irons and sent off to Cambodia or Afghanistan or one of those places anyway. But fortunately, there's no FIA in this game, so he's up into 5th place now, and he's chasing hard on one of the Benettons. I think it's changed properly now. Yes, it has. So Hill on lap 8 is in the lead. Berger is in 2nd place. Coulthard's in 5th. He's just about to cross the line now and see if he can catch up to the rest of these cars. I think there's only about 4 more laps to go. Yes, 4 more laps to go. Anyway, where did I get to on the reception of this game? Yes, I've got to read down it now because I've lost my place. Yes, Next Generation held... Yes, I've done that. GameSpot called the game a high-octane masterpiece, while Next Generation summarised with the exquisite graphics, wide range of challenges and startling amount of depth. Formula 1 is the game that changes everything. Wowzers, absolutely fantastic. As he goes past a faulty Ford now once again, and he's right up the back of the gearbox of this Benetton Renault, and he gets past. So up into 3rd position now for David Coulthard. fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. PSM gave the game 9 out of 10, praising the AI. Excuse me? Did you say praising the AI? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Did this reviewer actually play this game? That's what I want to know. Because the AI are a little bit derpy. Yes, a little bit derpy, it has to be said. Anyway, David Coulthard's catching up once again to one of the 40 falls. But he doesn't even bother trying to get past him. He just shortcuts as he came. And there you go. Carries on in 3rd position. Before concluding that Psygnosis has brought out their finest game to date. Oh, I don't know. I think Wipeout was pretty good. Pretty good. It relegates every other racing game to the back of the grid. Well, I have to agree with you there in 1995 anyway. Yes, it was very, very good. What else did we have in competition for Formula 1? Well, you had Destruction Derby by, what was that? Reflections. Yes, we made Driver. We had that out around about the same time. And I think that was about it, to be honest. At least on PlayStation anyway. Oh, of course we had Wipeout. Yes, but that's a completely different game altogether. Anyway, Hill's still in the lead on lap 9. Coulthard still in 3rd position, but not for much longer as he powers past the Ferrari up into 2nd position now for David Twat Coulthard at Hockenheim. Wowzers. So let's finish off our summary of the reception for this game. Also, he said, this is the game that will sell the PlayStation to Grand Prix fans and unconverted gamers alike. An envelope-pushing killer application. F1 is one of the essential purchases of 1996. Wow, what a statement there. What a statement there. As he's now catching up. Is that Damon Hill? I think that maybe Damon Hill is getting very, very close now. I think he's going to retake the lead for David Twat Coulthard. Reviewing the PC version in... Wait a minute. There was a PC version of this game? Why didn't I know about this? Why didn't I know about this? I had no idea that they brought this out for PC as well. Wowzers. Oh, and he gets past, yes, he's passed David Twat Coulthard into the lead, and he gets past, I think that was Elijah as well. So up into the lead now once again for David Twat Coulthard with just, I think, a few more laps to go. And I had no idea there was a PC version of this game. Hill in the lead after 9 laps, Berger in 2nd, Coulthard in 3rd. That's wrong again, isn't it? For God's sake. Anyway, let's not bother with that. I'm still getting over the shock that there was a PC version of this game. I'm still getting over the bloody shock. I had no idea. Anyway, after reviewing the PC version in GameSpot, Tim Sowett, yes, praised the graphics and audio commentary, but found the lack of depth and... I'll say it again. Found the lack of depth and realism in the driving made the game become dull after a short while. Well, Tim, please. And finally, to sum up, review aggravation website Game Rankings provides an average rating for the PlayStation version of 87.75 based on 4 reviews. The PC version received an average rating of only 56% based on 10 reviews. Wow, so I finally got through that on everything to do with the game version of Formula 1. There's lots of other references, but I'm not going to go through all of them. Wow, okay, so let's swivel my chair back round again and get back to the last dying embers of this race at the Hockenheim Ring. Coulthard in the lead, Hill in second place, Gerhard Berger in 3rd position, Johnny Herbert in 4th, Michael Schumacher in 5th, and Mark Blundell in the McLaren, everyone. The McLaren is in 6th position now as we're just about to... Oh, Jesus Christ, and there's contact for David Coulthard in the back of a Minardi. Yes, it's the Minardi Ford, and he gets past. Wow, Minardi, what can we say about that team? Absolutely fantastic. I'm quite surprised they're not still in Formula 1, because they should be. We should bring back all these old teams. Why not? Have them all racing at the back with, you know... It will bring some more excitement, won't it? We need 36 cars back in Formula 1. 20 is too boring now. Yes, we need them all. Because at the end of the day, we need all those back markers because it makes the racing so much more exciting. Just think if there was 36... Oh my goodness, Damon Hill's got past David Coulthard. Once again, I don't believe it. So he's back down to 2nd place. But just imagine if we had 36 cars... Oh no! And that was the end of the race. Oh, cocky bollocks. I don't believe it. Damon Hill pipped us right on the last bloody lap. So, there we go. There's the points at the moment. Well, that caught me out by surprise, that did. Oh dear, yes. Wowzers. So, thanks so much for watching, everyone. As always, there will, of course, be more later. And, of course, we will be rejoining for lap 10 of this series very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome as always. And good night.